Good morning. Welcome back to BT. Looks like we have a problem over on the eastbound 401. It's outside of our view approaching Mississauga Road, and it looks like we may have a collision there. It's jammed up from approaching, it's approaching Mavis and jammed up from approaching Mississauga Road. So give some extra time heading through the Milton area towards Mississauga on the eastbound 401. But I'm taking a quick peek over at the eastbound Gardner, and things are really starting to bog down on the eastbound Gardner heading over the Humber Bridge. The delays start at about, I would say, Islington in the Express. Outside of that, we're looking at delays on the eastbound QEW heading through Burlington, and we're looking at just slowdowns from about Brant over to about Third Line, and that is just volume moving through the area. And we're also looking at delays over on the eastbound QEW from South down to about Dixie. Surviving the Impossible podcast tells the true story of Nick Yaris, who spent 23 years on death row for a crime he didn't commit. Visit globalstorynetwork.com. That's a look at your O's. I'll send things over to Frankie for a look at the forecast.
And as we're looking across the city of Toronto this morning, what's in store? Well, first off, we got nice clear skies, so the difference from yesterday morning, we started off a little bit dark and cloudy this morning. You're going to see that sunrise, and it's going to be beautiful. We have a beautiful day in store, but I want you to still make sure that you dress in a couple layers this morning, because we're only at 8 degrees here in Toronto. We're at 3 in Sudbury, 4 in Ottawa this morning, 9 in Windsor, just north of the city. Some areas hovering around the freezing mark. Peterborough this morning hovering right around -1. Daytime high today, super comfortable, 18 degrees. Tomorrow, a sunshine-filled day with 18 as well, and sunshine and 16 on Thursday. Nice looking stretch of weather overall. The next chance of seeing wet weather is on Saturday. That's a look at your forecast.
Well, the 6 main federal leaders battled it out in the one and only English debate ahead of the October 21st vote, and things got very personal right from the get-go.
He can't even remember how many times he put blackface on.
Mr. Scheer wants to rip up the only serious plan on climate change Canada has ever had.
Conservative leader Andrew Scheer going after Justin Trudeau's black and brown face photos from his past, while Trudeau battled back with criticism of what he claims is the Conservatives' non-existent climate change plan. But there were a number of topics discussed here, making things affordable for families, human rights, immigration, Indigenous issues, and Canada's role on the global stage. The big issue, though, the environment, with both the Liberals and Conservatives in the crosshairs.
You do not need to choose between Mr. Delay and Mr. Deny. There is another option. There is another option out there. We are committed to a real plan that's going to take on the biggest polluters. It's going to take on the powerful interests, because that's what we need to do.
You bought a pipeline. You can't be a climate leader and spend $10 to $13 billion more on a project that by itself blows through our carbon budget.
Trudeau going after Scheer, accusing him of promoting tax cuts for the rich, while the Conservative leader shot back by bringing up the SNC-Lavalin affair, accusing Trudeau of breaking the law and trying to cover it up. To world news now, Turkey's military gearing up for a military strike in northern Syria. The military buildup comes after U.S. forces withdrew from the area yesterday, leaving Kurdish-led forces vulnerable to the planned incursion. Now, those Kurdish forces, which Turkey brands as terrorists, had been allied with the U.S. in their battle against ISIL, and they're calling the U.S. withdrawal a stab in the back. After withdrawing his forces yesterday, American President Donald Trump also launching a harsh attack on NATO ally Turkey, threatening to destroy its economy if Ankara takes a planned military strike in Turkey too far. All right, this is interesting here. The Louvre hoping that the long waits for art lovers to see Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa will be a thing of the past. The painting with the enigmatic smile has been returned to the museum's Hall of States after 10 months of restorations. And with a new lineup system, officials hoping for a shorter wait time and more intimate experiences with the masterpiece. And during the move, the wait times had been as long as 2 hours. The Louvre is the world's busiest museum with more than 10 million visitors a year, and about 80% are believed to come just to see the Mona Lisa.